Hello people, this is Mark from KharisChangeWorks. Guys, hope that you are well. I want to do a little video on just like a little introduction to some of the things myself and Laura have been talking about today, as it happens, regarding the content on this particular channel. Now, as you know or would have seen, we talk a lot about mental health, we talk a lot about narcissistic relationships and that kind of thing, and we also have got little videos on animals, little sayings, and then more specifically we've also got little videos that relate to some religious style sayings. And it is to that end that myself and Laura have been speaking today about, in the spiritual playlist, that we will be introducing different viewpoints from different faiths. Now, I'm not going to say that I know everything from every religious conviction that there is out there. On that particular note, I will have to do some research and expand my knowledge as far as those things are concerned. However, I'm going to be comparing, for argument's sake, things like forgiveness with, say, 2 or 3 of the mainstream faiths, healing and that kind of thing. Because ultimately, in my views, we are living in times where people are becoming more and more desperate. I look at people's lives and I just see a massive amount of a mess. People's lives are completely disorientated. People's lives are thrown out of balance. A lot of things are out of sync. And to my mind, now bear in mind this is my opinion, and I'm sure that there will be at least some of you that might agree, maybe you won't. Either way, I don't know. Now, when people are desperate, they normally reach out to a higher being, and then they make kind of efforts to try and get their lives right. Now, I want to address those issues and draw your attention to the fact that where we are in the world now, it's a dire place to be in, albeit that it is a beautiful place to live in. The tension in the outside forces, the forces that we don't see, at least not with the naked eye, they are at war. All you've got to do is just look at corruption, you look at evil, you look at people's lives being in turmoil. I will go further and say, you look at the world, in some places there's famine and other places there's floods. Now, from my opinion and from my perspective, when you read the good book, it tells you that these things will take place when the world is going to come to its epilogue. And it is because of that I believe the world is coming to a place of increased tension within a spiritual realm, the supernatural, the bit that is out here, the bit that you can't necessarily touch and see. It's these things that you can only experience, that I believe it is only fit for us to introduce this. As I've said in another video, we both have a spiritual conviction, and it is because of our conviction that we feel that we will do people a disservice if we do not introduce the things that I refer to as the spiritual language in the world. You know, you can't have a conversation with anybody without having at least some form of spiritual language involved, for argument's sake. You cannot have a conversation with a lover without mentioning the word love. It's a spiritual word. You can't have a baby and not refer to it as a miracle. You could be agnostic, you could be a Satanist for all that I care, and everybody will refer to the birth of a child as a miracle. It's a spiritual word. And so we will be looking at repentance, forgiveness, healing, reconciliation, ownership, leadership. It's primarily a spiritual word, but that has got different humanistic applications. So I'm going to be looking at some spiritual words, and I'm going to make some hard-hitting videos with information and some guidance on that. Because the world is in a desperate place. And I also believe that because we are in a desperate place, us as people, we need to become desperate to step beyond ourselves in terms of our abilities, our capabilities, and really start to recognize that there are forces that are out there that is governing the world in the manner that it is. And at least if you're aware of these spiritual forces, you can choose what side you want to play on. Because ultimately, eternity, whether we accept it or not, it's a long time. So that's my plan. And me and Laura will be discussing different topics whenever we speak. And we speak every day about this particular channel and the kind of work that we'll be doing when she immigrates over to the United Kingdom. It's an exciting time, and I look forward to making this particular series because it is something that I believe in wholeheartedly. Okay, my friend, that is just an idea of where this channel is going to go as another prong, as another avenue where we're going to meander out and develop this particular channel. So there you go, my friend. Please leave your comments if you want any topics that you feel that you would like to discuss for us to have a look at, to give you some ideas. I'd really appreciate that. Laura appreciates that as we hear your comments and reply back to you. Please hit the notification bell, pick all. Also like, share and subscribe. And let's get people on this channel. It is a worthwhile one, as there are thousands on YouTube, as you know, no doubt already know. But for now, this is Mark from KharisChangeWorks, and I'll speak to you soon.